In this episode of the K-Pop Blast, we're going to talk about a further development in the story of Clara's declining career, and I'm going to break down and talk about the most recent TS Entertainment release on the B.A.P scandal that broke out at the end of the last year. So let's talk about that and more right now. What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick from MW K-Pop, and I want to welcome you to the Saturday episode of the K-Pop Blast. Of course, we're talking about Clara and TS Entertainment, but we also have a bunch of releases that you could be expecting to come up that we're gonna talk about and fill you in on some of the details that I know already. So first off, though, we're gonna start with Clara, and we have some at least for me, some very pleasing news to hear, and that is that the Korea Entertainment Management Agency, which kind of steps in every once in a while when there is a contract dispute between employer and the employee, and they help resolve a solution there. They have stepped in and have decided that Clara is going to be suspended from all Korean activities. So that means that she cannot currently promote anything that she is doing. No commercials, no movies, no dramas, no music, no nothing inside of Korea. So the only avenue left for her is to go out of the country for promotions. And the reason that they gave for this is because of her, the scandal that she has gotten herself into has kind of gotten a bit out of control, and it is kind of painting her and the entertainment industry in general in kind of, it's making them look bad. And so they have suspended her. They're going to investigate, or she's under investigation currently, of course, for the trial that she has kind of put in motion. And until that is resolved, then she is going to be suspended with obviously no way to promote or make money or do anything inside of Korea, which for me is awesome. I like hearing that because, I mean, I don't really like hearing that, I shouldn't say, but I'm not upset by it. I'm actually think that that's actually kind of a good, thing to happen, because, definitely she needs, her career is done, and I guess this is kind of a bit of proof that she is pretty much finished in the entertainment industry in Korea. So that's fantastic. We got that first big news story, and then we got the next big one coming up in the very near future in this episode, or later on in the episode, TS Entertainment and B.A.P. So stick around for that. But first, we got to cover some new music that you can be expecting to be coming up. Now, if you remember in the last episode, I believe it was, when I talked about JYP's schedule for 2015, and that included a Miss A comeback in February, it seems like that is very likely to happen because Suzzy, who is a member of that group, just in case you didn't know that, she has reportedly denied a role in an upcoming drama because it would conflict with her upcoming schedule. So that leads a lot of credibility to the rumor that Miss A is set and planning for a comeback in the very near future, because of course dramas in Korea are generally, or China, Asian dramas generally are filmed semi-live as they happen. So, if it's going to be making a, debuting or airing relatively soon, is going to get in the way of promotions of the new song that she is possibly going to be involved in. So that is the reason why that gives the rumor very strong credibility that Miss A is going to be making a comeback in February, if not the month after that. So very exciting times. Everyone's excited. A lot of people, I should say, are excited to see Miss A make a comeback. Now, did you know that YG has been working on debuting a girl group for like 5,000 years at this point? Well, it seems like this group could possibly be seeing the light of day. Pictures have surfaced of what seems to be members of this group who are in the process of filming for a music video. Now, the members and all that stuff haven't actually been identified. It makes it kind of hard because the pictures aren't very good or clear of who the actual individuals are. But it does seem, the rumors are that these are members of this brand new girl group. And that is very, very exciting because finally, after all of the waiting and delays that, YG likes to do, we're finally going to get to see their brand new girl group that they have been trying to make it, that they have been saying that they're going to debut for at least the last year. I believe that they were supposed to come out at some point in 2014, the last half, towards the end of 2014, and they never did, obviously. So it's going to be very exciting to see this group. Of course, I like seeing new groups. I like new groups. I want to see new groups. I'm excited for this brand new group. So that is awesome. So we got to move on though from brand new group to a well-established group, which fell on some rough times last year, embroiled in scandal, and that is EXO. As we know, EXO, or SM, has been kind of hinting and rumoring that, as you know, that EXO is going to be having a comeback in 2015, and it seems like it is very likely that it will happen. Now, the rumor is at this point, or the broad period of time that it is expected, is to happen in the first half of 2015. Of course, that's 6 months. Yeah, it's a period of 6 months, which January is over at this point, so obviously it's not going to happen then. But it's going to happen, or it's supposed to happen, we should say, likely to happen in the first half of 2015, but we will not, it's very likely that we will not find out anything else, any further information or confirmed information until after March, when they have their concert around that period in time. So look forward to that. Just be patient. I know it's hard because EXO is a big group, a very popular group. Everyone likes EXO, and we're all eager to see how they come back and all of that from their scandal from last year. But just wait until March. It's just like a couple months from now. You can do it. I can do it. We can do it. So moving on from EXO, though, we got to talk about VIXX. VIXX is set to be coming back in February with a brand new album. The only thing is, though, that it's not going to be original music from them. It is going to be a remake album of older Korean songs. Now, I have no idea what these songs are going to be, where they're pulling inspiration from, any of that stuff. But I do know that this group is capable, they are versatile, they can pull off any sort of look that they want to, and they can do any sort of genre of music that they want to. So I'm very, very eager to see what they have chosen to do and all of that. And the purpose of this, they have said, is to show off the versatility of this group. And I think that's fantastic, because I know that they can do, that these guys are very, very talented, you know, and they don't become one of the most popular, you know, boy groups within, I mean, I think they debuted a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. It wasn't very long ago that they made their debut, and this group has become immensely popular, and it is all down to the fact that they are absolutely great. And, you know, just to further prove the point that these guys are talented and capable of doing anything that people ask them to do, they're making a remake album of not classic songs, but they're making a remake album, and I'm really excited to see what that actually is all about. So moving on from that, we got to talk about an established group and a rookie group under the same company. Dalshabet and Minx under Happy Face Entertainment. They're in Taiwan recently, and they were interviewed, asked about upcoming plans for 2015, and the leaders kind of hinted at the fact that they are in the early stages of getting a new album together, picking new songs, you know, working out all of the little details like that before they can get into producing their new content. And you know, that's very exciting. I love Minx. Minx is probably one of the best girl groups to make their debut last year, I do have to say. And of course, Dalshabet is also fantastic. They are really underrated, I think. So I'm excited to see these two groups back. Very, very, very excited. And we'll see what it's like. I'm looking forward to it. Also, they also did share that they could possibly be doing promotions in Taiwan at some point in the future, also collaborating with some other Taiwanese artists, you know, as a way to spread their name into Taiwan, get them some a fan base inside of Taiwan, which is cool. I like that. It's a pretty decent idea, I think. I wish that they would do it in the United States, but hey, you know, you got to take what you can get. And if it's new music coming out of these two groups, I'll definitely take that instead of, you know, them promoting in the United States. So moving on from that, we got Lovelyz. If you remember, I talked about that Instagram picture of the studio, which sparked rumors that it is a new Lovelyz album in the works. It seems to be that is indeed the case, because a few of the members updated on the official fan cafe that they are in the process of working on their brand new album. You know, they're working on it, don't know at what stage it is or anything like that, but they are working on a brand new album. And I am really, really excited for that. Who knows exactly what it's going to be? Could be a repackage of their debut album. It could be something else, but I do hope that they continue with, you know, giving us an interesting sound like they did on a lot of their, you know, album tracks from their debut album. It's going to be good. I guarantee you that this is going to be good. So we just got to wait impatiently, because I love these girls. These girls are fantastic, and I cannot wait to see more of them. So now that we've finished off all of the comebacks and releases that we are talking about, let's get to the big story of the show, and that is TS Entertainment versus B.A.P. And it's coming back into the news again, and this is the first time I have ever talked about this story because TS Entertainment has released another official statement, and they wanted to address some of the concerns or the accusations that were leveled against them in terms or regarding their contract and treatment of B.A.P. So first off, they want to address the break-even point, which, as you probably or may not know, is the point where the group has earned as much money as the company has invested in them or has spent to make their music, and that is when they start generating pure profits, more or less. So that is when the group starts actually getting paid. So TS Entertainment says that they reached their break-even point in 2013. That's about 2 years ago. Well, that's 1 year ago, technically. 2 years ago, if you want to go by the actual number of the year. And, they're seeing increased payouts every single year. They're estimated, or 2014, they were said, or for the last half of 2014, TS Entertainment said that if they continued with their promotions, if they hadn't canceled concerts like they had, the group would have ended up paid out $600,000, but because they had to cancel shows in South America and Japan, it only resulted in a $285,000 payout, which is the reason why, which would, give people the numbers that, why the group hasn't been paid so much. But in the first bit of 2015, they said that the total amount paid out would have been $1.8 million, which, from 2014 to 2015, a $1 million increase in payout, that's pretty steep. And it seems a bit suspicious about that, but, who knows? TS Entertainment possibly making all this stuff up, but it's very, very interesting to see what they have to say about it instead of taking everyone's words and, insiders leaked rumors about what is actually going on. So break-even point. Now, of course, the profit sharing scandal, which broke because, of course, the ratio was very, very, very in favor of TS Entertainment that everyone focused on. And so TS Entertainment clarified that because, of course, what people were reporting on and focusing on was the 1-to-9 ratio in favor of TS Entertainment. And they said that the 1-to-9 ratio is more for producing music itself. So making albums, singles, doing all that other stuff. B.A.P. only gets 10% of the money that comes out of that. The company gets to take 90% of that. And the reason for that is because it costs more to make music, they say. Now, it makes sense to me because, you have to pay for the producer. Brave Brothers isn't cheap, because, he could give his music to anybody. He's proven that he makes music that will get you noticed, so he cannot possibly be cheap. But, you got to pay for the producer for the song. You got to pay for studio time. You got to pay the choreographer. You got to pay everyone who's involved in making the music video, printing the album, the photo shoot, all this stuff, right? It costs a lot of money to make music, and that would be the reason why TS Entertainment would take 90% of any income from, music sales. Now, where B.A.P. would make their money is when they do live shows, because that's a 50-50 split, TS Entertainment says. Now, they say that the reason why the split was more in favor of TS in 2014 was because they focused more on making music than they did on promoting the group and, with live stage and stuff like that. So the 1-to-9 split or ratio that they take for making music pushed what they'd agreed upon in their contract bit down more in favor of TS Entertainment than, B.A.P. Now, 2015, they were saying that they were going to focus more on, live performances and, actually having promotion schedules and stuff where they go out and they play shows, make performances and stuff like that, which would bring the ratio back more in line with what the agreed contract ratio was, which was 60% for TS Entertainment, 40% for B.A.P, which is not really, a bad split, I don't think. That's kind of what you get from YouTube, more or less. And it's pretty, because TS Entertainment has to make money, they invest money, so they have, they have more expenses in it than the members do. So they're required to take more money back to make a profit. So 60% of any income from music and shows and anything else that they do makes total sense to me. So that is that. Now, addressing slave contracts, which, the criticism for that is that they were like 10 years very, very long from the time that they signed. So TS Entertainment says that the contracts that the members have signed were 7 years in length from the first release that they ever did. So that means that individual members who made releases before B.A.P actually made a debut as a group together, their contract started, or their contract period started before B.A.P made a debut as a group. So that means that different members had different contract end dates, which is very, very interesting. Something that people probably didn't even really think about or, take into consideration there. And, of course they say that their contract terms and all that stuff are in compliance with, the FCC, whatever the organization is that, enforces, working conditions and contracts and all that stuff. It's compliant with that. Okay. Of course they would say that. And, that, like I said, 7 years from the first release. And they also, because of the fact that the group can go overseas or spends a lot of time overseas doing promotions, that is why they have such long contracts, because that's just the way that the law is, that they're allowed to have a long contract if they do go on tours and spend a lot of time internationally or outside of Korea, which they have. B.A.P has had a fair number of world tours, or they've done at least one in recent times. So, there we go. Of course, TS Entertainment, everything seems to be in order over there. From what they're saying, of course, nobody trusts them because people don't want to trust what they have to say. And that's perfectly fine. You should always take what they have to say with a grain of salt because they could be lying. So that is fantastic. But here's the thing that seems very, very fishy. Actually, to me, it's not very fishy at all. But what seems to be strange is that TS Entertainment has said that there is an outside company, kind of driving B.A.P to be a bit rebellious and look to get out of the company. And now SM Entertainment said that with Luhan from EXO, the various EXO members who were trying to get out. And now TS Entertainment is saying that a company wants to steal B.A.P from them, and that they're kind of motivating them to be a bit, to act up and be a bit rebellious against the company. And I don't really, and it's not like I don't believe that. I actually do believe that TS Entertainment totally is right about that. That there is a company who is looking to get this group, and if I had a company, I would be trying to get them too. And I kind of feel that there's probably a company out there that is saying like, hey, look, we can give you better terms than TS Entertainment. We can give you a better contract than TS Entertainment can. So we'll help you, kind of rock the boat, cause a controversy, cause a problem here so that we can get you out of this company, and we'll take you and give you a better contract and all that. Because who wouldn't want B.A.P under their company? I would. And so I would definitely do whatever I could possibly do to, any sort of underhanded, dirty tactics I could do to get this group out of the company that they're currently signed for and into mine. Now, TS Entertainment also says that they're going to find out who it is, and then they're also going to go after them and punish them for it. Now, that is, again, not really wrong because, it's kind of interfering with their contract and all that stuff. But, again, that kind of makes it a bit suspicious that they're just making this up and accusing a company of trying to steal the group when there really isn't a company when there really isn't a company out there. Now, do I side on TS Entertainment's side or B.A.P's side? I don't really fall on either side. It's, there's been a lot of evidence to show that actually that TS Entertainment has worked these guys very, 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 very hard, even forcing them to perform while they're sick and all that stuff. But then again, if you really think about it, if you take those ratios that we talked about into mind, if the group doesn't perform, they don't get any money really. They don't ever have the chance to make any money. So, just as with any other group, or, you have a rock musician or anybody who goes and they perform while they're sick, right? Lots of groups, even because, you're on tour, you can't stop the tour because you're sick. Unless you or absolutely cannot go out on stage, you have to, or you really need to perform so you can make money. So that means that you got to go out on stage, perform, and, every once in a while, maybe you have to go off stage and puke your guts out where nobody can see, and then come back out like everything's perfectly fine. Now, that's one of the things, right? Like the company and the group don't get paid really if they don't perform, obviously. So the group needs to perform to get paid any substantial amount of money, because they don't make any money off of music per se. So, you know, maybe the company forced them to, maybe though just out of the, you know, the pure fact that they need a paycheck. The guys decided that they need to perform whether or not they're sick, and they have to go off stage and puke and do whatever it is that they need to do to appear to be okay on stage for the fans that they're performing for. Who exactly knows? We just know that they're doing this for a living. They need to get paid, and that means that they need to perform shows without a doubt. No ifs, ands, or buts. They need to perform on live stages to get paid. Now that kind of opens them up, of course, to being exploited, but who knows exactly if that was actually a thing that happened. So that is all that I've got to say on that, though. I think there's plenty to talk about, and, you know, for more stuff for you to think about. So I gotta say, what do you think about the whole TS Entertainment versus B.A.P thing? Is there stuff that I don't know about that you think I should know about? Put it down in the comments below. Also, follow me on Twitter, message me on KakaoTalk, like me on Facebook. Really appreciate that. Those are just my usernames. The links are down in the profile below, in the description box below, so you do not have to search those as well. So that is going to be it for this episode of the K-Pop Blast. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Goodbye.